mistake. I think the better team won. They had more possession, had more chances. Our penalties were shocking, but I think they deserved it at the end of the day. But a great effort from the boys from England. They did well. We got to a final. It's progress. Semi-final, final. We got Qatar. We win it.
Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Wadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who well, and peace, blessing, and salutations to the hopeful elect out there scattered around the four corners of the earth. Salakia. I'm trying to charge my laptop right now, so this is going to be the second time I'm recording this lesson because the first time I forgot to hit the record button. I don't know, maybe it was the early morning dew, and I wasn't really wide awake, so I forgot to hit the record button, and I just did a pretty much a 30 to 40 minute lesson, okay, going in about what happened at the Euro 2020 final, but now I have to do it all over again. So, anyways, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the whole backstory of what happened. So, to understand what happened, we have to start at the beginning. So, Euro 2020 finals, or Euro 2020, what this whole European competition is it's a European uh international competition that's happening only on the European continent. Each continent has their own uh competition that they do every 4 or however years that they do it, because for South America it's a little bit different. Combo, I believe the name of the tournament is Combo, or Copa America as they call it. Copa America, they do it a little bit differently. Down there in South America, they do it a little bit differently. They may do it every 3 to 1 years. It's pretty much random. But for Central and North America, they do it, I believe, around the same time as the Euros. Which is every 4 years, I believe. Don't quote me on it. And then you got the European, or the Euros, which they call it the Euros. That's the competition on the European continent, where all European countries come and play in the group stages. But before you get there, you have to qualify first. That's why they have the qualifiers, that happens between all European teams, European countries, because they can't put all European countries inside a tournament. That's gonna prolong the games, and it's gonna cause a lot of havoc for the schedule. So they have to have a qualifier, and whoever gets the most points, the top two teams, I believe, whoever gets the most points, they get to qualify for that tournament that's coming up. They also have the same thing for Africa. I believe they call it the African Cup or something like that. They also have one for Asia as well, for all those Arabic countries down there. They call it the AFC Championship, or the AFC Champions. That's the tournament that's similar to Euros. Anyway, so you know, since last year they couldn't host the tournament because of the COVID situation, the whole C-19 or whatever. They postponed the tournament to 2021, but they still kept the name Euro 2020. Because this was a delayed tournament. So where do I start? England, 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 England. So to understand what's going on, you have to know the history of England. The last time England won a trophy, the England national team, was back in 1966, and that was the World Cup, which is far more great than any Euro trophy. But that was about 56, 57 odd years ago. So England has not won a trophy. The English national team has not won any silverware in a long time. You gotta understand that. So the emotions, the intensities that was going happening in this match was very high. You gotta understand those same people that grew up, that seen the World Cup. About now, they'll be up in their probably I'd say 40s, 50s. Some of them probably even had children that grew up around the 60s or the 70s, and they've been waiting a long time for the trophy to come. That happened in 1966. So a lot of things happened, and England, they got to their first ever finals in the European competition, and unfortunately they lost. Which is not unfortunate; it's actually fortunate. Unfortunately, they lost to Italy, which, by the way, Italy, has a lot of Jakes on that team. A lot of talented Jakes on that team. But that's besides the point. This game ended up being a 1-1 draw, so you had to go through extra time. And if the team does not score, if no team score within that time period, they drag it out to the penalty shootouts. Now, this is where it all happened. So, the three so-called black players that received racial abuse, Bukayo Saka, Jadon Sancho, and Marcus Rashford, were all so-called black players. So-called black because they're not really black; they're brown. We go ahead and read a little bit of the article. England's Football Association condemned racist attacks unleashed by soccer fans on social media Monday morning after the country's disappointing loss to Italy in the Euro 2020 final. The attacks were largely targeted towards Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, and Bukayo Saka, who are all so-called black. Which, by the way, I believe Jadon Sancho is a Simeonite. I'm gonna show you a picture of his father right here. Looks like a so-called Simeon right here, so-called Dominican, I should say. This dude looks like a so-called Dominican. I believe his parents are from Trinidad, so he's pretty much so-called West Indian. But if you've seen his father, he looks like a straight-up Simeonite. Which he could be a Benjamin. I could be wrong, but to me, he looks like a so-called Dominican. You know, I believe his mother is the one that's probably a Benjamin. That's why he has that type 4 so-called black hair texture. You can clearly see that this is his father. So I'm gonna jump back. Marcus Rashford is a Benjamite. His origins goes back to Jamaica. Same with this guy Raheem Sterling. And Bukayo Saka, I believe, is a so-called Nigerian, which it could be from any of the tribes Judah, Benjamin, or Levi. I'm gonna continue reading on. Each player missed a penalty kick during a crucial shootout that decided the game and tournament for Italy. Yeah. So when they got to the penalty shootouts, the coach, for some odd reason, he brought on three so-called black players at the last minute. He brought on Marcus Rashford, who hasn't played all tournament, and Jadon Sancho, who hasn't played all tournament, at the 120th minute, which is the last minute of the second leg of extra time. And Bukayo Saka, he only played around the 80th minute. So really, it's kind of messed up that this coach is going to go ahead and do that. Which to me, I'm starting to believe that this guy might be an Edomite. Just because the way he thought that out. He thought it was going to be okay to bring on three so-called black players and have them take the penalties last, which is really, really fucking stupid. The FA strongly condemns all forms of discrimination and is appalled by the all-on racism that has been aimed at some of our England players on social media. We could not be clearer that anyone behind such disgusting behavior is not welcome in following the team. We will do all we can to support the players affected while urging the toughest punishments possible for anyone responsible. So, after the game, when it ended, man, a lot of people took to social media to racially abuse these players. I mean, it was a lot of comments, about 300,000 comments on Saka's page, his last post, of so much racial comments. Making fun of his skin color, telling him to go back to Nigeria. Uh, putting down monkey and banana emojis. It's a lot of madness that happened. And not only that, but they also came and stabbed a lot of Italians. A lot of Italians got jumped and beaten by these English people. Italian restaurants got vandalized. So it's a lot of craziness that happened on that night. Salakia. Go ahead and read it on. We're discussing that some of our squad who has given everything for the shirt in this summer have been subjected to discriminatory abuse online after tonight's game. We stand with our players. So, you know, this is Bukayo Saka, by the way, so-called Nigerian. All of these guys here are Jakes, except for this guy, which he could be a Jake, but I'm still on the fence about Maguire. He still has not the appearance, but that spirit of an Edomite to me. That Edomite spirit is on him heavy. But I could be wrong though. Only the Lord knows who he is. But to me, it's just 50-50 with him. He could be there's a possibility he could be a Jake. But the rest of the guys, like Mason Mount, Ben Chilwell, uh, Tyrone Mings, Phillips, those are all Jakes, man. Well, those are all Jakes. Jumping down, England players console Bukayo Saka after a missed penalty during the Euro 2020 final. Which, by the way, Bukayo Saka started crying. Which to me, I don't really care because the guy, instead of playing for Nigeria, he went ahead and played for England. I've been telling these English players for a long time that are coming from Nigeria that it's better to play for the country of your origins or the country that you originated from. Not a country that you immigrated to or your parents immigrated to, because deep down these people will not accept you. Okay, and it's the same thing that happened with Ozil. 2014, he was the king of Germany, but 2018 for the World Cup they threw him under the bus before they attacked any German players, and they refused to attack any German players like Cruz, what's this guy's name, Kimmich, all these Mueller, all these German players that are ethnically German, you know, which those are all Jakes, by the way, Cruz, Mueller, and Kimmich. But the problem is that because those guys have a German ethnicity or ethnic backgrounds and have German names and they look so-called German, that these German Edomites and the German media, they won't attack them, you know, because they're like the darlings of the team. But players such as Ozil and Gundogan or Udawan or Udawin, all these players that have Turkish backgrounds, they're the ones that are going to get attacked more, And it's the same thing here. So it says here many of the graphic social media attacks included monkey and banana emojis. London's Metro Police said it will be investigating offensive and racist posts, which I don't know what they're planning on doing, because you can't really do anything about somebody leaving a racist post that's outside of the country. Maybe if the person, if they can trace the IP of that tweet or that address, and it happens to be in the UK, then yes, I agree. But other than that, there's nothing you can really do. We are aware of a number of offensive and racist social media comments being directed towards footballers following the Euro 2020 final, the department said on Twitter. This abuse is totally unacceptable and will not be tolerated, and it will be investigated. A mural dedicated to Rashford, who has been an active campaigner for helping feed vulnerable British children, was vandalized Sunday. Rashford has dealt with racial abuse in the past, including when he received more than 70 hate messages following Manchester United's Europa League final defeat. So he even received online abuse after that Europa League defeat, which, in my opinion, is not really his fault because the whole team played bad, But he was the scapegoat of that tournament. Racist abuse will never be tolerated for a club nor for a country, Manchester United said on Twitter. If you see any form of abuse or discrimination, act and report it. President William also condemned the attacks, as did the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. This England team deserved to be lauded as heroes, not racially abused on social media. Johnson said on Twitter, those responsible for this appalling abuse should be ashamed of themselves. Interesting. England's players protested racism throughout the tournament, taking a knee before their games, including Sunday in England's first major final since 1966. Luke Shaw scored 2 minutes in for England before Leonardo Bonucci got the equalizer for Italy in the second half. The game remained 1-1 after extra time, like I said, and Italy won the penalty shootout 3-2. So, you know, I'm going to go ahead and read some of the comments. The 19-year-old Saka should have not been chosen to take a PK. He looked overwhelmed in a moment, and it wasn't fair to put him in that position. I can't believe the coach didn't choose a more seasoned player like Jack Grealish to take that kick, which Jack Grealish is a Jake, by the way. I believe he's Irish, so-called Irish, you know. His origins are from Ireland, but he came to England for pretty much a better life. His family came to England for a better life, you know. This is how he looks. You know, this guy's a Jake. You could just tell, man. This dude is a Jake. He has all the salt and the flavor in the world, man. And I'm starting to pay more attention to Jack Grealish because back then I never even heard of this guy until the whole West Ham and Chelsea game. That's when I started paying more attention to Jack Grealish, you know. They also have Luke Shaw, which I believe Luke Shaw is a Jake as well, you know. That dude can ball, but his old club season has not been good, you know. If I were him, I would go ahead and leave Manchester United and join a better team. But that's neither here or there, you know. So those guys are Israelite foreigners that are playing for the English national team. Let's see. Let me go ahead and read this one. I don't follow soccer, football, but this is no surprise. The media, including social media, is constantly race baiting and has only made things worse than ever. They never take any responsibility for it. Racial abuse is never a good thing. However, judging by media coverage, it seems to only happen in one direction. Either blacks rarely engage in sex activity or the media willfully ignores it. Shut up. Sadly, it's just not sports, media, politics, or the world of academia that's crumbling. Our very humanity and civility all over the world is crumbling. We need to take a pause and rethink where we're all going. Either we get to where we are going together or we're doomed. No, you're doomed, motherfucker. You are doomed, my guy. Places, when the nation of Israel gets back into power, you know, the whole world is gonna be at peace. The only people that are gonna be doomed are you so-called white people, you know, Edomites. This is John Curry. I didn't watch the Third World Sport, so I didn't see what happened. Look at this guy, probably American, a Yank, talking about Third World Sport. But I'm glad that Italy beat England. If people did use slurs that shouldn't have that day, England was just better than England. It happens. Kneel down and then miss PKs. What do you expect? I mean, I don't support the whole Black Lives Matter movement. It's a bunch of bullshit. But kneeling down has really nothing to do with them missing PKs. That's just the Edomite that's trying to voice out his anger towards this whole movement. You know, England's players protested racism throughout the tournament, taking a knee before their games, including Sunday, got their just due. That's another Edomite, you know, that's upset about the whole Black Lives Matter thing. Funny how racism is always about white versus others. LOL, the others are never racist. Why is that media? Why can't the media show how racist Hispanics are against others or blacks against others? Which Hispanic is not really a race because you got darker skinned Hispanics as well, you know? But I understand what he's trying to say. You got lighter skinned Native Americans, you got dark skinned Native Americans as well. Or blacks against others. Racism is only a white province, a whole country province. Start right about everyone, not just whites. Shut up. Oh man. See, these Edomites right now, as I'm observing, they're kind of getting upset about how their shame is being uncovered, you know? This is Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand, which is the Yahushai, shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So, right now, back then, a few years ago, these Edomites were so proud to be white, But now, through all the things that are happening, through the false flags, the shootings that are portrayed by these so-called white people, through the racist attacks, man, their name or the reputation of the race is now being trodden down underfoot, and these Edomites are not happy about it at all. They're starting to hate how their race or whatever is being attacked. Now you got videos of these Edomites, these devils that are making videos saying it's okay to be white. That it's okay to be white, it's okay to be European, blah blah blah. You don't have to apologize for anything. Well, the scripture says this. Prepare slaughter. Man, this is the bloodiest book that ever existed. This is Isaiah 14:21. Now, a few years ago, if you were to tell me that this verse was in the Bible, I would have smacked you back and forth and said, "You're lying. Shut the fuck up." But this verse is in the Bible, man. Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter. Let me read that again. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. Okay, their forefathers. Okay, that they did not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Meaning that they're not going to have any civilizations. No more Edomite civilizations ever again. Okay? No more Edomite communities. All of that is going to be destroyed, man. So the Lord said, prepare slaughter for his children. Okay? For his descendants. The descendants of these Edomites that had us in slavery and hardcore bondage that oppressed us, they're going to pay for all that bloodshed, okay? It's going to be upon their own heads because they are their forefathers coming back, through the reincarnation. So, you got these Edomites saying, "Oh well, why do I have to pay? That was my forefather. That has nothing to do with me. That was a long time ago." The scripture says, "Prepare slaughter for his children." So, if you died, if your forefather died and left you a bill, a tab, you gotta pick it up and pay for it. It's not just gonna disappear. Somebody has to pay for it. Somebody's blood has to be shed. Okay, and that's the thing that these Edomites don't want to accept. This is Psalms 137 and verse 1. This is really talking about America, the captivity, where you can find all the 12 tribes in captivity, but you can also apply this to wherever Jake is scattered too, as well. This is verse 1. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. Okay, let's talk about our during the times when we were ruling in the land of Israel. Okay, we hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. The harps are the tools of music, of joy. Meaning that all those good times, all those cherry times were all in the past, were former things. For there that day that carried us away captive required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion. Okay? So what that means is that these captors, these devils that have captured us, and all these other nations as well, because you got Israelites in all these different nations that are suffering oppression and being slaves under these heathens. They have required of us a song, meaning that they only want us to entertain them. I'm gonna give you an example. That Edomite on Fox News when LeBron James was talking about racism and this and that. What did that Edomite say? She said, "Shut up, LeBron, and play ball, boy." Really, what she wanted to say was, "Shut up, LeBron, and play ball, nigger." That's all you wanted to do. Just shut up and play ball, nigger. That's what these Edomites look at us as, just a bunch of fucking entertainment. They don't care about us. They don't like us. They hate our guts. They only want us to entertain them. Okay? You know? when you start doing bad and your body starts breaking down, these Edomites will toss you to the side and get another younger Jake to go and entertain them. That's all they want is entertainment. They don't care about you. They don't care about you at all, you know? Verse 4. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? Yeah, this is a rhetorical question. How are we supposed to be joyful and entertaining in a strange land? Okay? So that's pretty much it on Psalms 137. And that's what you're seeing right now. You know, these Jakes that are out there in these foreign countries, especially the ones that look like Jakes, you know, if they ever talk about things like racism or discrimination, they get tossed to the side. It gets tossed to the side like it's not important, you know, because the media or the people don't care about that. They only want you to entertain them, and once you're doing bad, they're gonna toss you to the side, you know, like a sack of like a box of used napkins, you know. This is Jeremiah 15:5. For who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem, or Yasharal? Or who shall bemoan thee? Or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest? You know, because nobody's coming to our side and asking how we're doing mentally, spiritually, or physically. Nobody's coming in and pitting the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Nobody's doing that, man. Nobody cares about our situation. They rather pass a bill, a bill for these LGBT alphabetical community before they pass one for us. You know, they rather pass the bill for these gooks and Asians that are catching all these so-called attacks, which it's only happening in minor scales. It has not been in a major scale, but the media they play on that propaganda and hype it up like it's some big issue. You know, I don't know any Jakes that are beating up Asians on the streets. I don't know any Jakes, dog. This whole thing is a bunch of bullshit. But after what happened, they decided to pass an anti-hate Asian bill, which is just a bunch of nonsense because here we are, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have been getting your ass kicked for days and years and centuries. But these fucking devils are not going to do anything for you, you know? And what pisses me off is that all those stupid motherfucking people that voted for Biden are now seeing the foolishness of their actions, you know? That's the thing that pisses me off the most is that you Jakes will steady go and vote and vote and vote and vote for these people, only for you to get used like a bunch of unused or used tissues. You know, excuse my anger, but I'm getting mad. You know, when I start getting mad, I start to stutter. That's just how I am. But man, it just pisses me off how stupid and retarded our people are. You know, it's like they don't have any brain cells left in them. You know, their intelligence is lacking. The scripture says, "My people are foolish, side as children." That word should be even replaced with retarded. You know, the people, or majority of our people, they're mentally retarded. You know, they're mentally and spiritually retarded. They're very slow. They're not smart at all. You know, and it's mainly the black woman that went and had them vote. And look at them now. You know, they passed a bill for anti Asian hate, but you niggas are being lynched left and right, and they're not doing shit for you. You know, it is funny, man. It's funny. See, me personally, man, I look down on you other Jakes, man. That's just me. I look down on you other Jakes, man. That's just a me. You know, whenever I see a Jake, I always look down on him because you know, you guys are just it's just mind boggling how you can get your ass kicked for years and still think something's gonna change, man. That shit's crazy. Fucking crazy. Even I was not like that in the world. I did not have that mindset in the world, man. Okay? But maybe it's I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. Just fashion. This is Psalms 123, verse 1. Unto thee lift I up my eyes, O thou that dwellest in the heavens. Behold, as the eyes of servants look unto the hand of their masters, and as the eyes of a maiden unto the hand of her mistress. So our eyes wait upon the Lord our power, until that he have mercy upon us. And that mercy is when the Lord Yahushai, the Savior, the Savior of the nation of Israel, comes and delivers his elect from the hand of our enemies, you know, from the hand of them that hate us. You know? That's what we're waiting for, and we're gonna have those bodies change, and all these curses will be turned into blessings, and all those blessings that the heathen nations had will be turned into curses. All these curses shall fall upon them that hate thee. Roughly paraphrase. Let me go ahead and get that. Yeah, Deuteronomy 7 and 15. Deuteronomy 30 and 7. This is Deuteronomy 30 and 7. And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. So, and that you're going to really see that in the kingdom. When all these curses will be poured into blessings for the nation of Israel, all these blessings that these heathens had will be turned into curses, man. And the main one that's going to eat the heavy part of that curse is you so-called Edomite, or not so-called, but you so-called white people, man. You Edomites, according to the Bible, you guys are going to catch the greatest hell on earth, You guys are going to catch the greatest hell from the least to the greatest. So, what precept do I want to bring out now? Let me go ahead and get let's see. We go ahead and get Genesis 27. This is Genesis 27 and 41, and this is why they hate us. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. And that's why the hatred is still here today. Okay, that hatred never left. It never left. These devils still hate us to this very day. I'm gonna go ahead and get a daughter of Edom. We get that daughter of Edom. This is Lamentations 4, verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. Okay? Daughter of Edom. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sin. So, slavery, all these curses, man, is gonna fall upon you Edomites, and you guys are gonna be totally destroyed in the kingdom, man. Looking like shit. You guys are gonna be totally destroyed, and I believe and I pray for that day to come, greater and greater by the days past, because being here in this current society, man, we're like a laughing stock, We're like the butt of everyone's joke. Especially starting with the Negroes, we're like the butt of everyone's joke. Everybody's always taking a time to make fun of us. Well, all of that is gonna stop when the kingdom of heaven is not even before the kingdom, when Yahushua comes and bring the chariots and the angels. All of that is gonna be done away with, man. It's gonna be total utter respect for the Israelites, even for the 2/3. It's gonna be total respect for all for the people in the nation of Israel, man. And all you heathens are gonna bow with your face towards the earth and lick the dust off our feet, for eternity. So from there, I'm gonna go to Jeremiah. Yeah, let me go to Jeremiah 30. Might as well go ahead and knock this out real quick. This is Jeremiah 30. This is Jeremiah 30, verse 8. I'm gonna go ahead and skip over 7. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of it. But they shall serve the Lord their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Okay, so the Lord is going to take us out of captivity, and we'll no longer be in a state of slavery and servitude. Therefore here fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall be quiet, or in rest, Salakia, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. That's when the Lord takes us back to the land of Israel. You know, for I am with thee, saith the Lord, to save thee. Though I make a full end of all the nations where I've scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. Verse 12, for thus saith the Lord, thy bruise is incurable, thy wound is grievous. Those are the curses right there, you know. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. All thy lovers have forgotten thee, they seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one. That cruel one is Esau Edom. Okay? The Lord took the most wicked nation on earth to punish us for the multitude of thy iniquity, because thy sins were increased. Okay? So we got punished with the chastisement of a cruel one because of our iniquities, you know? Why criest thou for thy affliction? Yeah, the Lord is asking, why are you crying? Because of the hell you're catching. Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thy iniquity. Your sorrow is unhealable because of the multitude of your iniquities. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee. Because we have sinned against the Lord greatly. That's why the Lord greatly punished us in return. You know, it's a balance. And here's the balance. Here's the good part of the hell that we're catching. You know, this is a future prophecy right here, verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. Okay, devoured is not a nice word. All thine adversaries, every one of them, all the heathen nations that had a hand in our captivity, shall what? Shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. So that's total slavery for all those heathen nations, man. All of you heathens are going into captivity, starting with Esau, Edom. You Edomites are going to catch the greatest hell on earth. Verse 17, for I will restore health unto thee. This is for the Israelites, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, of the curses that the Lord has put on us, you know? Saith the Lord, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. And that's what you have now, you know? That's why it says in Psalms 137 that, you know, they're required of us of mirth. And how can we sing the Lord's song in a strange land, roughly paraphrasing, you know? Uh, you know, these Edomites, they have made fun of our oppression pretty much, you know? And they have taken joy in our downfall as well. Which that also brings me to another precept that I just remembered. Salakia, let me go ahead and get the precept. Go ahead and close that one out. Let's see if I can find it. Dwight Al-Bashim Shai, found the precept I was looking for. This is it right here, Limitations 2. This is Limitations 2 and 15, and all that passed by clapped their hands at thee. They hissed and wagged their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, this is talking about the whole nation, because when you see daughter of Zion or Jerusalem, that means the whole nation. But when you see daughters of Zion or daughters of Jerusalem, then that means the woman. You know, it's only talking about the woman. Saying, is this the city that men call for perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? Yeah, because at one point we were the perfection of beauty. We were the joy of the whole earth, man. You know? before the falling of the Israelites, the Adamites in the garden, we were the joy of the whole earth, man. We were the greatest nation on earth, but because of us falling and diving into the left hand and learning about the wisdom and the fruit of the left hand and all that wickedness, man, we have taken a great fall. That's why the scripture says, "Ye are gods, but ye shall die like men." Roughly paraphrasing, because of what we have done. Verse 15. All that passed by clapped their hands at thee. They hissed and wagged their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, "Is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth?" Yeah. Is this the nation of Israel that people are speaking about? Is this the great people of the Lord? That's why it says in the book of Ezekiel, the 20th or the 30th chapter, that the Lord is pretty much gathering and taking us back into the Holy Land, not for our sakes, but for His holy name's sake. Why? Because we have polluted the Lord's name among the heathen, wherever we were scattered to. That's why the Lord has to gather us and pretty much heal us, and gather us like as a hen that gathers her eggs, you know, because the Lord is doing it not for us, but for His own name's sake, because He has put His name upon us. He's doing it for His glory, because right now His glory has been turned to shame because of us. You know, verse 16: All thy enemies have opened their mouth against thee; they hiss and gnash their teeth, meaning they make fun of us. They say, "We have swallowed her up." Certainly, this is the day that we have looked for. We have found, we have seen it. Okay, and that's what has happened. uh the whole nation of Israel, man. When we went down, these Edomites were happy. The top leaders of all these heathen nations, they are pretty much happy about the way the nation of Israel is. Verse 17: The Lord has done that which He has devised. He has fulfilled His word. He had commanded in the days of old. He has thrown down and has not pitied. He has caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee. He has set up the horn of thine adversary. Verse 18: Their heart cried unto the Lord, O wall of the daughter of Zion, let tears run down like a river day and night, and give thyself no rest. Let not the apple of thine eye cease. So that's pretty much it. I already picked the point. So from there, I'm gonna jump to where do I want to go? Let me go to Psalms. Let me not do that. I want to go to Psalm 73. Yeah. Let me go ahead and do Psalm 73. This is Psalm 73, verse 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. And that's talking about the elites. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily means they speak lightly. I forgot the word for it, but when you speak about some in a nonchalant attitude and in a careless attitude, that's what loftily means. Uh, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. They set their mouth against the heavens. Their tongue walketh through the earth. That's their pride. And I'm gonna jump down. Actually, no, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it in Psalms chapter 73. So from there, I'm gonna jump to Luke. Actually, no, Revelation chapter 21, because there's something I want to get in there. And this is the end goal. This is what we're looking for, man. This is our Revelation chapter 21, verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Verse 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High shall be with them and be their power. Verse 4, and the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And those are the curses, you know. All the hell that we catch is going to be in the past, you know. And when we get in the kingdom, we're going to be saying, let the past be the past. It's the future, you know. That's the end goal. That's what we're fighting for, man. To get delivered uh, through the first go around and ride that first train, that first ticket to the kingdom, you know, and see the transition of our kingdom being built up. That's gonna be a great thing. And probably my favorite part is going down and descending from the chariots and conquering the heathen nation. That's gonna be my favorite part right there. Because you know me, I'm gonna go crazy. You know, I'm gonna have to go crazy. You know, but I'm gonna go ahead and end it off with Luke 12 and 32. You know, to you hopeful elect out there, remember this. You know, throughout all the pain and hell that we're catching, there's a bright side at the end of the tunnel. You know, fear not, little flock. Okay, which the little flock represents the elect or the hopeful elect, you know, because we are few among the whole nation. For it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Okay, and that starts with Yahushua, and it starts with knowing who you are, your nationality, you know, and learning about your forefathers and your customs, and ultimately from there having faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Okay, so Lord's will, this lesson was edifying. We'll go ahead and give all praises, honors, and glories due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Wadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and the peace, blessings, and salutations of hopeful elect scattered around the four corners of the earth. Okay? Until next time, Shalom. Abba, Abba.